Reviewing NHL games of December 9th, 2018. There are 7 games on, and I usually only fit 6 games on a board. Makes it spaces out pretty evenly, as you may have noticed if you're a subscriber already. But I didn't want to do 2 boards, and have 1 game on the other board. So I just smushed them all into this one. So it may not be as clear for you to read it off the camera, but oh well, that's what I'm here for. Let's get to the board. The Vancouver Canucks beat the St. Louis Blues 6-1. Some pre-notes of this game. Pettersson had 25 points entering the game, 7 more than any other rookie in the NHL. Pettersson and Besser, I won't even say Vancouver. Pettersson and Besser chased Allen after the game went 3-0. And Allen he saved 3 of 6 shots on that. So another Vancouver note. This game, Besser had his second career hat trick. And Pettersson is the first Canuck with multiple 5-point games in a single season. I'm referring to this game, obviously. Since 95-96, when Alexander McGillney did it. Wow, he might be the best player the Canucks have ever had. That's exciting to be a Canucks fan. A couple years, oh boy. All right, so let's get to the board here. First off, Besser scores 1-0, his 7th of the season, assisted by, you got it, Pettersson. Then again, 2-0, Pettersson scores this time, his 15th of the year, assisted by Stetcher. That's Pettersson's second point of the night, right there. Still in the first period, Besser scores again, gets a second of the game, his 8th of the year. Pettersson gets an assist already. He has his 3rd point in the game. It's still a first period. And Hutton also assists on that one. Second period. So that's when Allen was chased just after that 3rd goal. Second period. Horvat. My board is falling apart here. Horvat scores. It's 4-0 Canucks. He gets his 14th of the season. Assisted by Roussel and Eriksson. Still in the second period. 5-0 Canucks. Doesn't matter who's in that, but yeah, Chad Johnson filled Allen's spot. Because Goldobin makes it 5-0, gets his 5th of the season, assisted by Pettersson, who gets his 4th point on the night, and Gudbranson. 3rd period, St. Louis, yay, gets on the board. Kyrou gets his 1st of the season, assisted by Bortuzzo and Riley. Then, Vancouver seals it 6-1. Besser gets the hat trick, his 9th of the season, assisted by Pettersson with his 5th point of the night, and Pouliot. Vancouver is now 13-16-3 with 29 points. St. Louis is 10-14-4 with 24. Ouch! I think they're tied for last. I know it's just between Chicago, LA, and St. Louis. Maybe LA and St. Louis or Chicago have 1 less point, but at St. Louis at this point you got to be thinking, okay, maybe it's time to start making some more serious trades, because that's going to be some kind of comeback to get into the playoffs there. Marchand makes 22 saves on 23 shots. Allen 3 on 6. Johnson makes 12 on 15. He didn't fare much better. Obviously, Vancouver goes 0-2 on the power play. St. Louis 0-1. Vancouver is now 3-6-1 in their last 10 games. This being their 2nd win in a row. St. Louis is 3-6-1 in their last 10 games as well. This being their first loss. I believe they beat Winnipeg like 1-0 on Friday. Next game, the Winnipeg Jets spank the Philadelphia Flyers 7-1. This has got to be the 2nd time in the last 10 games that they've lost by such a one-sided, lopsided score. I believe it was against Toronto, that 6-0 score. So in 2 of their last 10, they were outscored 13-1. It's just unbelievable what's happening there. Anyway, some notes in the game. Philly's basically a turnover machine. That's part of the problem, amongst other things. But Nerveth started in net for Philly, and he gets pulled after the third Winnipeg goal. And that was 3 goals on 10 shots on Nerveth. Also a note on Philly, Hag hit Connor from behind in this game. Hag from Philly. And got a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. Thankfully, Connor was okay. A Winnipeg note here. Perreault was hit high by Weiss in this game. There's no penalty on the play, and Perreault did not return. That's not good news. Let's get to the scoring here. And there's a lot of it. Okay, Winnipeg goes ahead 1-0 in the first. Connor, 11th goal of the season, unassisted. Then 2-0. Morrissey gets his 3rd goal of the season on the power play, assisted by Ehlers and Perreault. Then Philly gets their only goal of the game late in the first period. Voracek gets his 8th of the season, assisted by Sanheim and Patrick. Second period. This is when this goal is right after Nerveth gets pulled. Tanev gets his 5th of the season to make it 3-1 for Winnipeg. Morrissey gets the assist, his 2nd point of the night, and Scheifele gets the other assist. Winnipeg scores again to make it 1-2, makes it 4-1. Byfuglien gets his 3rd of the season on the power play. Laine and Scheifele, who gets his 2nd point as an assist on the night. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-1, still in the second period for Winnipeg. Wheeler gets his 5th of the season, short-handed. I believe that was on somewhat of a breakaway there. Assisted by Scheifele, who gets his 3rd point of the game, and Morrissey, who also gets his 3rd point of the game. Third period, Winnipeg goes ahead 6-0. Little gets his 6th goal of the season on the power play. Their special teams is just killing it here. I was going to say obviously again, but I won't. Assisted by Myers and Ehlers, who gets a 2nd point of the night. 7th goal to make it 7-1. Myers gets his 2nd point of the game. 2 on the season, and Laine gets his 2nd point of the night. Laine has 2 points, and both of them aren't goals. Shocking. Just shocking. Philly is now 12-13-3 with 27 points. Winnipeg is now 18-9-2 with 38. Philly's another team who pretty soon they got to be asking that question: is it time to start shipping bodies out? Nerveth made 7 of 10 saves before he was chased, and ST.LOUIS came in, made 23 saves on 27 shots. Hellebuyck stopped 36 of 37. He had a real good night. He looked fantastic in net. Philly did have some good chances, but Philly goes 0 for 2 on the power play. Winnipeg 3 for 4. In their last 10, Philly's now 3-5-2. This being their first loss, and Winnipeg is 6-4-0 in their last 10. This being their first win. Next game, the Boston Bruins beat the Ottawa Senators again. I say that because going into this game, Boston has beat Ottawa 6 times in a row. Boston just owns Ottawa and Toronto. It's just unbelievable. Maybe not as much Toronto, but still they anyways. More notes here. Marchand was his usual nasty self in this game. He had a lot of sneaky elbows to the faces of some Senator players. And after he scores his goal in this game, after he makes a run by the Boston bench, he continues on and chirps the Ottawa bench. So yeah, this was a spicy one, spicy hot. McKenna, Ottawa's goalie, who's a backup, was unbelievable. in this game, and the overtime goal was not his fault at all. Not at all. I believe he was even the first star of the game. And Boston has now won 7 straight against Ottawa. Let's get to the scoring. First period, Stone gets his 15th of the season, assisted by White and Harper. Second period, there's Marchand's goal, 8th of the season on the power play, assisted by Krug and Pasternak. Third period, no goals. Overtime, it's Krug, who gets a second of the season and second point of the game, assisted by Krejci and Marchand, who gets 2 points in the game. Ottawa is now 13-14-4 with 30 points. Boston 16-10-4 with 36. McKenna made 42 saves on 44 shots. Unbelievable for Ottawa. Rask makes 27 and 28, not too shabby himself. Ottawa was 0 for 3 on the power play. Bruins 1 for 3 in their last 10. Ottawa is now 4-5-1, with this being their first loss. And Boston is 5-4-1 in their last 10, with this being their second win in a row, being Toronto and now Ottawa. Next game up, the Montreal Canadiens beat the Chicago Blackhawks 3-2. I do not have any notes on this game, so let's just get to the scoring here. First period, Domi gets his 14th of the season, assisted by Shaw and Riley. 1-0 Montreal, 2-0 Montreal. Weber gets his third of the season, assisted by Agostino. That's maybe my third favorite name to pronounce in the NHL. And Chaput. Then Chicago gets on the board before the second period. Kane, on a wicked one-timer on the power play, gets his 14th of the season, assisted by Seabrook and DeBrincat. Second period, Kane gets his second goal of the night, second point of the evening, his 15th on the year, assisted by Gustafsson and Cahoon. And then in the third period, Tata! I think that's my second, maybe my first favorite name to pronounce in the league. Tatar gets his 12th goal of the season for the game winner, assisted by Petry and Kotkaniemi. That goal was scored at 18:43, just over a minute left in the game. Ouch for Chicago, I'll get to the record in their last 10 in just a second. Price made 37 saves on 39 shots. He was unbelievable. Crawford, 25 of 28. Montreal went 0 for 4 in the power play. Chicago 1 for 7. At least they got one goal, but still 1 for 7. In their last 10, Montreal's 4-4-2, and this is a third win in a row. Chicago's 1-9-0. This is their 7th loss in a row. Oh boy, yeah, it's definitely sell time, fire sale time for Chicago. Next game up, we have the Anaheim Ducks beat the New Jersey Devils 6-5 in this shootout. This was such a back and forth game. Exciting, but it was this game was full of awful deflections and own goals, and it was crazy. It was like there was a magnet in the puck or something. Palmieri from New Jersey, also this is his second game in a row in which he's gotten back-to-back 2-goal games. So he's getting hot again, watch out. And Gibson stepped into the net, because Miller started this game, but Gibson stepped into the net with 5 minutes left in the third period, and I'm unawares of why at this point, because it wasn't right after a New Jersey goal or anything. In fact, it was just after an Anaheim goal, so I'm curious to see if there's anything wrong with Miller here. Let's get to the scoring. First off, Palmieri, first period, gets his 15th of the season, assisted by Yakolev. English. Brain work now. So Anaheim then ties it up. Silverberg gets his 8th of the season, assisted by Manson and Cogliano. Anaheim then goes ahead 2-1. Sherwood gets his 3rd goal of the season unassisted. New Jersey ties it up 2-2. Palmieri, 2nd goal of the game, 16th of the season, assisted by Hull and Severson. Oh, sorry, just assisted by Hull. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So where we are? Yeah, it's 2-2, and then Jersey makes it 3-2. They on a goal from Severinson, gets his 4th of the season on the power play, assisted by Bratt and Johansson. Anaheim ties it up again. Montour gets his 4th of the season. Beautiful goal in which he steps up into the play. I believe it was a rebound or something. He scooped it right up. Very Morgan Riley-esque. And that was assisted by Cache. I think that's how it's pronounced. Cache and Getzlaf. Second period. So what are we at now? It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 3-3. Second period. Devils go ahead 4-3. Senny gets the 2nd of the season from Bratt. Third period. Anaheim ties it. Aber gets his 10th of the season, assisted by Cache and Getzlaf. That's both Cache and Getzlaf's 2nd point of the night. I didn't mark some of these properly. I forgot to mark this game. In any case, then the Devils. Where am I? No, then Anaheim goes ahead, 5-4. A goal by Cache, his 5th of the season, his 2nd point of the night, unassisted. I believe this was an own goal too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Schneider saved, the puck hit him. He saved it, went up in the air, flipping out of the air. I think it was the captain, it was a Green, who went to try and bat it out of there. Instead, he batted it right into his own net. It was just a strange game. But in any case, with not much time left in the game, Devils tie it 5-5. Johansson gets his 6th of the season. Assisted by Hirschire and Boyle. That's Johansson's 2nd point of the game. OT, there was no goals, obviously, in the shootout. None of the Devils scored. For the Anaheim, it was Sprong, who was recently acquired from Pittsburgh, and Getzlaf. Anaheim is now 16-11-5 with 37 points. They've been on a tear lately. They've been really good. The Devils are now 10-12-6 with 26 points, near the bottom of the East. One of the worst teams in the East right now, if not the worst, I think. Gibson, Miller made 23 saves on 27 shots before he came out, and Gibson went in, saved 7 of 8 for the Ducks. Schneider saved 32 of 37. The Anaheim, was 0 for 1 on the power play. The Devils were 1 for 3. Anaheim is now 8-2-0 in their last 10 games, and this is their first win. They're playing really good hockey lately. The Devils in their last 10 are 2-4-4 with 1 loss. The Devils, as I said, not so much. Next game, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Dallas Stars 4-2. Vegas snaps Dallas's 4-game win streak in this one, and Dallas starts the scoring. Hansel gets his first goal of the season. I believe he's coming back from injury. On the power play, assisted by Heiskanen and Lindell. 1-0 Dallas. Vegas ties it up. Carpenter gets his first of the season, assisted by Lindbergh and McNabb. Move on to the second period. Vegas goes ahead 2-1. Carlson gets his 10th of the season, assisted by Schmidt and Theodore. Then Vegas goes ahead 3-1. Tuck gets his 10th of the season, assisted by Patriati and Miller. Third period. It's now 3-1. Dallas makes it close on the power play, 3-2. Lindell gets his 5th of the season, assisted by Spezza and Heiskanen. That's Heiskanen's 2nd point on the night, and Lindell's 2nd point on the night as well. But then Vegas scores on the empty net. Smith gets his 6th goal of the season, and that's on the power play as well. And that was assisted by Miller, who gets his 2nd point of the night. Dallas is now 16-12-3 with 35 points. Vegas is now 18-14-1 with 37. Bishop made 24 saves on 27 shots. Fleury 22 on 24. Dallas went 2 for 3 on the power play. Very lethal special teams there. Vegas 1 for 5 on the power play. Dallas is now 5-4-1 in their last 10. This being their first loss. And Vegas is 8-2-0 in their last 10. This being their first win. So Vegas is charging hard. And the last game of the night, I missed this one. I really wanted to watch it. This was the game of the evening. Battle of Alberta. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Calgary Flames 1-0. It's so strange. It's a 1-goal game, but there was a lot of nastiness in this game too. During the warm-up, Edmonton's Kassian and Peluso from Calgary, who was a call-up from the NHL, were already chirping each other before the game started. And then Edmonton, the Oilers' Benning crushed Peluso on the boards pretty hard during a play, and Peluso, he got up, he was okay, back to the bench. He chirped some of the players from Edmonton players from the bench after that. More Edmonton notes here. McDavid has 11 goals in 14 games versus Calgary. Later on in the game, Lucic had a questionable hit on Harmonic. He's still wearing that facial guard. But I think he was okay after that. And in any case, Peluso and Lucic went at it. So that was kind of fun to watch as well. Two heavyweights. Usually, you don't see many people who can take on Lucic pound per pound, and so that was an interesting fight. Calgary actually scored in this game, but had the goal recalled, ironically, because Peluso was interfering with the goalie. I think he had his 1 foot behind the goalie's pad in the blue paint, and once they went over the video, they called it back. So yeah, that's all for the notes. Not much really to say right here. McDavid gets the only goal of the game in the first period. His 16th of the season, assisted by Chasson and Draisaitl. Side note in this game, Edmonton also, because it was Edmonton, they also had a little ceremony for Bob Cole, and before the game, McDavid presented him with an Oilers jersey with the number 50 on the back to represent his 50 years in the business. And it was just a really nice gesture. And he also called the game and got a little bit of a presentation during the game or during the timeout for him, and everyone gave him a standing ovation. It was very nice. Second period and third period, no goals. Calgary, their record is now 19, who've been really hot lately. Their record's now 19-11-2 with 40 points. They're running away with the with the Central. The Central? No, with the Pacific. Excuse me. At the moment. Oilers are now 17-12-2 with 36 points. They continue to do well under Hitchcock. Riddick had a really good game, made 29 saves on 30 shots. There was nothing much he could have done on that McDavid goal. Koskinen has the shutout with 24 saves. Calgary goes 0 for 2 on the power play. Oilers 0 for 5. That's a good PK for the Flames, or a bad power play for Edmonton. And Calgary, in their last 10, they are 7-2-1. This being their first loss, and Oilers are 7-2-1 as well in their last 10. And this is the third win in a row. Monday, December 10th, has 4 games. The Los Angeles Kings versus the Detroit Red Wings, the New Jersey Devils versus the San Jose Sharks, the New York Rangers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, and probably the game I'm most interested in watching will be this Pittsburgh Penguins versus New York Islanders game. Both of them in the same division. Both of them badly need the points to get into the playoffs. It'll be a barn burner. There's going to be a lot of, I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of hits, maybe a little bit of nastiness in this game as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like if you like this video. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you know any hockey geeks, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.